So it has two distinct torque zones, okay? So there's a lot of torque up to 5,000. 5 to 6, it's in a transition. And from 6, there is a definite uptick in the performance. Yeah, definite uptick. I'm just saying, I would like the transition zone to become a little bit lower, where I can access this zone and have a lot of torque, or that zone and have a lot of, let's call it horsepower.
Talking about fundamentals, you would have used it in the city. Heat-wise?
Not too much, I think. Not too much. If I were to give you a direct reference, the KTM 390 Enduro R will much more obviously have a lot more heat on your legs than the Aprilia does.
Okay.
But heat is a personal thing. You and I ride a lot of motorcycles. We've gotten used to the idea that, hey, fast motorcycles produce heat. Some of the times it comes onto my leg. Some of the times it's lost in the breeze. If it's lost in the breeze, all good. If it's not, my leg is the last line of defense. So there is heat, some of it. You'll have to figure out how much you are willing to put up with and how much you won't.
And if I do intend to do long distances with this, aside from the seat aspect of it, the wind and cruising ability, I mean, with the shorter gearing, how does it end up sitting?
See, the shorter gearing doesn't make a difference because this is an engine with infinite latitude. It has no sense of strain. And despite the lower gearing, you're still doing what, 5,500 RPM at 100 or less maybe.
And it's happy there.
It's happy there. To me, in fact, if this was my Tuono, I would had another 2-3 teeth added to the rear sprocket.
How predictable.
No, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. See, the delta from the RS's engine performance to the Tuono's performance is not massive, but it should be.
It didn't sound like that. You know, that's
It's not
you
massive.
didn't bring it up. You didn't bring up the gearing at all. Right?
It's not massive. It's there, but it's not massive. And it can be massive because look, this engine is unstrained. If I were to set 8,000, 9,000 RPM on this engine whole day, the engine has no sense of strain. At 6,000 RPM, there's a change in the voice of the engine. At the bottom, it's this gruff roar, bassy thing. And then that bass sort of dissipates a little bit. But it doesn't fundamentally change your level of strain. Right? So I'm saying if you're willing to do 100 at, let's call it 5,500 RPM, I'm saying I'm willing to do 100 at 6,500 RPM. No stress. But that will give me so much more torque off the bottom. The problem is this bike is so torquey anyway. So it has two distinct torque zones, okay? So there's a lot of torque up to 5,000. 5 to 6, it's in a transition. And from 6, there is a definite uptick in the performance. Yeah. Definite uptick. I'm just saying I would like the transition zone to become a little bit lower, where I can access this zone and have a lot of torque, or that zone and have a lot of, let's call it horsepower. So at the highway, you're usually in the transition zone, which means when you open the throttle, you start the overtake rapidly, then much more rapidly. I'm saying I would have taken the gearing lower and saying you just be in one of those two zones. You stay below it and enjoy lots of torque, or you be above that and enjoy lots of performance. Both is possible, but the transition sort of sits at highway speeds.
Okay.
And I think if I were riding this bike a lot, I would want the transition to happen a little bit earlier.
And just from an experience standpoint, the RSV4, when you ride it, it feels like and see, he's lived the Tuono, so his perspective is one thing, right? I first rode the RSV4, and so for me, that was the reference of Aprilia's, and I rode it on the track, and it was like this very powerful, precision-guided missile.
Yeah.
Like, it did whatever you wanted and did it exactly how you wanted it. And then he insisted, go ride the Tuono. And when I went and rode the Tuono, it was like somebody had just before I got onto it, slammed an injection of adrenaline into its ass, and it was just trying to burn it off. Like, no matter what you do, it's just running all the time. It's bucking and weaving and whatnot. It's like this wild, violent thing.
Yeah.
And that's the personality of the bike, even by default, right?
Correct.
Not just on a racetrack.
Yeah. So from that reference point, the Tuono 457 feels a lot more calm. And I think it could have been a lot naughtier. Given what I'm seeing of RS457 videos online though, I'm not convinced that making an angrier Tuono for the 457 was a good idea. Because to me, you know that brand that everybody says has colored hair and tight pants? It's very much the RS457 that is carrying that flag from the front now.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to say this, that I think it's us. It's not the bikes, right?
No, it's not. It never is.
It's not them, it's us. It's what we are doing with them. And it's really a freaking shame that good bikes are being torched because of what we are doing with them.
Yeah, it's terrible. Anyway, so the upshot of the story, and I'm keeping this episode really short because there's honestly not a lot to talk about, is I loved riding the Tuono. the way it responds, the way that engine sounds, the way it pulls, the way it chills, it's all in such a fantastic place. Yes, we haven't come to the design and that fairing yet. I've left it out for a reason, right?
I was just thinking, that's the only thing left.
Yeah. But I know that if you go for a test ride, you are going to be impressed with the Tuono. But because the RS457 stands in the same showroom for about, 30,000 rupees more, many of you are going to switch to the RS instead. And yeah, that's fine. It's not a problem. Take the RS, figure out a way to raise the handlebar just a little bit. You'll get a riding position similar to the Pulsar RS200.
Okay.
A non-committed sporty riding position, and that will make the RS much easier to live with.
Hello. If you enjoyed this clip, which means you're into good conversations, and that's what we're all about. It's really hard packing in the essence of an idea into a 60-second clip. This 3-minute, 5-minute video would have given you a sense of that, and you can enjoy this entire conversation in its full glory on the MotorInc channel. So why don't you head out over there and subscribe to that, and you could subscribe to this channel as well if you enjoyed it.